Greetings from the Eccentric Man, and today what we're going to be looking at is the unboxing of the King Tiger from Warlord Games. It's one of the new ones out, and you can see it on the front cover. You get the stats card, you get the decal sheet, and you get smoke, flames, and a bit of oil smoke. So there's the King Tiger box, looking very nice. I also got the Road to Berlin book at the weekend. And that's quite nice. It gives you the option to take this in one list as an inexperienced tank at 414 points. Seems a bargain to me. So what have we got on the back? We've got a little bit of blurb about King Tiger, between the difference between the Henschel and the Porsche. And the Henschel manufacturers won. However, when it was first released, they didn't have the turrets for the Henschel, so they stuck the Porsche turret on at first. Tells you all about that on the left in the blurb. And it gives you the picture of the Henschel turret and also the Porsche turret to be working with. So yeah, that's a nice box set. So let's open it up and see what we get inside. So, true to the box, what we have is we've got our stat sheet. German heavy tank, regular 555 points. Veteran, what's that, 600, oh, I can't even see it there. Veteran. Well, let's see if we can focus in a little bit better there with the camera. That looks like 666. Yep, 666 with the glasses. So as I said, in the Road to Berlin, you can have it for 414, and inexperienced. Stick a first lieutenant behind it. Yeah, you're going to get a -1 on the gun to shoot, but you've got no short range. You've got no long range with this. Absolutely no long range, so no penalties for that. So you're not losing a 1 for that. So it sort of balances itself up there. So 414 and a first lieutenant to keep it moving. Not too shoddy, I don't suppose. But in a 1,000-point army, I'm not quite sure what I'll be running with it. I was thinking perhaps green Fallschirmjägers or SS, green SS, so that you roll for them. I don't know. Or Volks, or the Hitler Youth. Not sure, but it seems an option. So that's the Road to Berlin book. That looks quite fun. It does the Warsaw Uprising, and also does Prague. So an interesting book if you want to look at the late war for the Germans and the Russians. So we've got that. Got a nice decal sheet. Got the knights on there. Yep, that looks nice. Get the smoke. They are a bit small, really. I think they really should be on something like 32mm and a bit bigger with the flaming. But it's a nice touch. Booklet. King Tiger 2 assembly. Alright, it tells you number produced 492, crew of 5. So it's nice to have a little book with information in it. Oh, there's the artillery Ujima flip. Decal application guide. Tracks and hull. A little bit underneath to do. Well, I suppose that's machine gun, isn't it? Bits to stick on the top. Yeah, that's good. Porsche turret. How to make it up. Yeah, the flickering is actually from my main light. That might help. A bit dark, but there we go. Yep, Henschel turret, Porsche turret. Painting scheme, the ambush camouflage. Gives you the army painter colours to use. Yeah, that's really nice. Panzer Battalion Winter Camouflage Hungary. potential with the 3 colour. So that is really nice. What a lovely booklet. Remember past ones that just come with a black and white. Very nice booklet. So the plastic's all sealed up, nicely sealed up in the plastic bag. So let's have a open up and see what the plastics are like inside. So what have we got? We've got 3 sprues, upper hull, and the side skirts and the wheels. No messing about with hundreds of wheels to stick on. They come already done. The only problem I think is really when you look at these ones is I'm nitpicking with it, but you've got no groove between them. Would it be really that difficult to run a groove along the top so that it looks like you've got individual wheels, or at least the front ones have got that groove to show that they're separate wheels, rather than that big run of plastic? It's finicky, I know, or nitpicky, I know, but there we go. We got a commander on it. Nice detail on him, actually. Yeah, that's nice detail. Yep, that's good. Next one up looks like the turret configurations. So, looks like you can build both turrets. I will have to have a look through the book and confirm that. If that's the case, that is really good. That you can build both turrets and swap them on and off. Just that would be a lovely touch. I'm going to have a read of the book there. Yes. And then the hull. Bottom hull. Tracks, one-piece tracks. Looks like they should be able to go together very easily. And then if you look here, end caps. Yep, that's not bad, is it? So, it all looks good. It looks very free of not much flash at all. Just a little odd bits on the head here, so you can see where my thumb is. Just a couple of these to take off, not very many. Detail on turrets. It looks nice. Those go around the turret opening, so I don't know what they are. Got some more little bits of track on the sprue there. And let's just have a quick look at the upper hull. So back end, yeah, and front with a zimmerit as well. Got the zimmerit on the turret sides. Yeah, interesting. Right, so I'm going to have a quick read through the book to see if you can actually do both turrets. Right, having looked at the book, sadly the answer would appear to be no, because what we've got in the instruction manual is turret ring protectors should only be added if the Porsche turret is being used. So if you're going to use a Porsche turret, you've got to stick these turret protectors down and it goes on top. I also had a look to see if there's duplicates for the turrets for the cupola machine gun and some of the top of the turret fittings, and sadly there isn't. So there is only one number 12, there's only one hatch cover to it, only one number 30. The 51s are not duplicated either. So yes, that's a bit of a shame. But there we go. You can't have everything, and obviously they're two different makes of two different manufacturers of turrets. the main turret, so they're going to, and obviously the Porse turret fits differently to the Henschel turret. Yes, so unless you've got sprues tucked away somewhere of bits you haven't used, and you could do like number 12 and the open hatch or a closed hatch, you might get away with it, but I don't think I have. So I'll put it together, and then I've got to decide which turret I'm going to go for. Decisions. So what I've done is I've gone to the first part of the instructions, A, and I've taken off all the parts that I need to assemble, so that I know which bits I've got and which is the layout for them. So for the bottom track, top track, 2 end pieces, drive sprocket, and the final wheel at the back. The front drive sprocket, it's got 2 locating pins, so that's going to be fairly easy to go into. Then it's got a type of bevel cut for the sprocket to go into the outer sprocket to go into the holder, so that will give me proper orientation on that. You can see that there are some grooves, I'm hoping, in the bottom wheels. Let's just turn that over. Yep, you can see the 2 grooves in the bottom wheels, and that's going to locate onto the tracks that you can see that have got little raised bits there. So that's nice from the manufacturers and the designers. So let's put the first track together and see how we go. So 2 tracks sections put together, went together pretty well. As you can see, they're pretty seamless on there, and on the other end, same on the other side. Pretty good. No gaps. Tip 1 though. I would suggest putting 63, 64 together first, so you can get the rotation of the D socket there. Get that right, and then you can drive fit onto 64, just to make sure that your teeth sprues are going backwards and down. That's about the only thing I would say on this one. Just do those ones first, get that D insert lined up. The first one I did was a little bit, the D's didn't seem quite as good as the second one, but do that first and that'll be fine. What I also did was put number 6 on first, followed by number 2, gluing them so they were still a little bit tacky, and then I glued 1 and 5 in place. But that worked. That seemed to work quite well. So now, done the tracks. Next bit of hull. So 42 to 19, and then the tracks to the side of the hull. As you can see there, it's got cutouts in the hull and bits on the side. I suppose you, in the parlance, you've got male bits on the tracks and female bits on the hull. Use your imagination. That's how we go, and that's the next bit up. So, welcome back. We've now got the hull to the tracks. Put the rear plate in. Key thing to note, just underneath. Bring it over here. Get it to focus in. Underneath the plate, you've got those 2 hook type bits that come out there. You can see it. 1 hook bit there, another bit there. The hull and the tracks form a plate sort of thing just in there. You can't see it, just in that gap there, and they need to stick together nice and tight so that you can then slide the back plate in, and it locates into a groove on that side. So all I've then done is stuck a little bit of glue along that seal, that edge there, and that edge there. Glue wise, I'm using Tamiya extra thin cement. So that's where we are so far. B, and that's taken me probably about 30 minutes. I've been dotting about doing different things. Next up is a fairly straightforward bit. D, putting in the machine gun. What are these little things? Drill out the holes around the turret ring if you want to build your tank with a Porsche turret. And then we can fit all the other bits on top. Wow, got to make a decision. Henschel or Porsche? Henschel or Porsche? Okay then, time to make a decision. Bye. So I decided to go with the Porsche turret. And that moment when you commit and you realise that actually your daughter hasn't returned your drill with your small drills. She's making jewellery, and she hasn't returned it. So I've had to do Acme. So you've got to drill 2 holes. The guides are underneath it, so I'm hoping that the top guide rails is going to cover the holes. But there you go. And obviously with a bit of scraping there, I've got a bit of surface damage. So all good stuff. We'll see how it fits. So run into a little bit of difficulty with this one. Parts 24 and 29. Not quite sure what they are. They can go into the one slot, but it gives me no information as to why it should or shouldn't go in. So trusty Facebook, and I went to the Bolt Action group, and Sam Batsford and Chris Chandelier, nice name, was able to give me some information and to allow me to guess which one I was going to go for. So I'm actually going to go for 29. It was 24 is either something to do with the command tank or not, or on pre-production. So I'm just going to go for 29. But thank you very much for your help anyway. So we'll add them in and we'll get on with the build. So upper hull put together. You can see I've put the single plate on, and I've put the little gas canister type thing there. We've got the machine gun set up, we've got the spotlights, and we've got the axe and the mallet on it. So the next stage is fitting the top of the hull to the bottom of the hull. So let's see how that goes together. Let's try a quick dry fit. And goes a reasonable fit there on the side. Reasonable fit on the front, I think. Whether that should be underneath or above, I don't know on that bit there. I have to have a quick look at the pictures to see whether that's too far back and should they be covered. I don't know. I have to have a look at the proper picture on the tank itself, because that could be a problem. No, we should be alright because we've got the side skirts to put on and the front mudguard cover. You can see it there next to the tank on the right. That goes over the top there and fits on, so that should cover it up. So I'm going to go ahead and now stick the top hull to the bottom hull. Okay, so we've got the upper hull and lower hull together, and the bits and pieces on the top of the engine, that's done, and at the front end done. I've put together the barrel, so that went together very, very nicely. Only thing is to mention is the bit underneath here. Oh, let's see if we can get some more light. Let's fire up the daylight bulb. Yeah, the joins there, you can see the barrel that I'm holding in my left fingers goes into that front part. That's a separate bit. Let's get down onto this bit here. So you can see 47 into 9 first. That's what I did, and then I pushed. I pushed 56 through 44. Put a bit of glue on the end of 56, and then seated it into 9. that then allowed me to put 40 onto 44. You'll see where those dotted lines from 40 go to 44. They're slightly to the right. The little bars on 44 that are sticking out backwards, which have the indents in the middle to fit the end parts of 56, they don't actually match up with those bits on 40 that you see sticking out. They go to the side of them. I was thinking that they should meet, but they don't. So they go to the side. So if you dab a little bit of glue on both of the bits where 40, the outside edge of 40, meets with 44, that will help you with the gun barrel going up and down. So that's what I did there. So the next thing up is the turret. Unfortunately, I decided to do the turret because the edge zimmerit of the main hull needs to be drilled to fit the wheel skirts. And of course, if you remember what I said earlier, my drills and bits are with my daughter, who's been making some jewellery. So I'm meeting up with her later on today, so I'll get them back and I can do that. Unfortunately, I decided to take the turret, and the turret has got little holes for the lifting lugs. So you can see there that this one's pre-drilled there and pre-drilled there. So I thought, yeah, good, we can get on with the turret. And it's only got one hole pre-drilled there. The other one hasn't gone all the way through. And I can't find anything in my little bits of toolbox to be able to do a hole small enough for these little lugs, because they are very small, and looks like I've already lost one. Yeah, wonder where I've put that. Oh, there it is. So yeah, so that's come to a halt as well for the moment. So that's where we are, waiting upon getting a little drill bit. So back soon. So got my drill back. And I've put on the side zimmerit, and I've put on the side skirts now. So whether you can see that there, it's gone on quite well. I've used Plasti Weld for the skirts on there, and that's gone on nice and tight. And again on the same on there. So I've got the gun that I talked about a bit earlier, and the next up is going to be the turret. But that's the next step, putting the turret together, and I've got the plastic weld for that, so that should hold them together. I've tried dry fitting, and they're a very loose fit, very tricky, so I'm going to use the plastic weld to hold them, and hopefully they'll be easier to glue them together. So, turret's now completed. I've put it in the closed position, so all the hatches are down. It was a little bit fiddly to get all the sides and the top and the barrel to line up, and a little bit poor fit on this side here. I think that was me rather than anything else, but yeah, it's a little bit fiddly to put it all together and to hold it. So I need to do a little bit of filling on that, not too much. Did spill a bit of glue on the top, as you always do. Well, I always do anyway, so let's do something. Top bit is a little bit raised on this side here, but I think once it's painted up should be all okay. So yeah, a little bit fiddly, the turret construction. The ridges for the bits to go into are not too what's the word I'm looking for? Not a lot of depth to fit the pieces to actually get them to sort of sit and click right. But it'll be okay once painted. So still got the rear end to do, exhausts and things like that, and I think there's a spade to put on there somewhere. So coming along. Nice long barrel to the gun. A huge turret there. Although the Henschel turret is wider. So, yep, moving on. And there we have it. The King Tiger finished. Got the spade on the side there. All hatches on. Front mudguards. Towing hooks. Exhausts, rear flaps. Towing hooks. All done. So, next up it'll have to be painting. But that's where I leave it for this video. Just the unboxing and the build. Key things. A couple of tips that I went through for the tank. And certainly be careful when you're putting the turret together. As I say, it is a little bit tricky to hold all the bits in place. But there it is. A little bit of filling to do just on some of the little areas where I made mistakes. But the King Tiger done. Just got to work out now how to fit it into an army. The road to Berlin, 414 points for an inexperienced King Tiger. Yeah, that's appealing. I can think about green Felsham Jaegers with it. But there we go. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't. And share with your friends. Not sure what the next one up is. I've got a couple of games coming up, so maybe I'll get a battle rep out of those. Or we'll be putting together something a little bit smaller, which I keep saying I'm going to do, is the Rubicon British Paratrooper Jeep. That's on my next list to do. So thanks very much for watching, and until the next time.